What's going on, shoe fanatics? Welcome back to the channel. Got a special one here today. The shoe I have for you today is a collaboration between Jordan Brand and Mr. DJ Khaled himself, which we'll talk about him a little bit later. But let's get into the first of the pickups of the 4-pack right now. As I always like to do, let's go ahead and start with the box. The box is multicolored. There's a lot going on. It's a lot of funky colors, a lot of pastels, a lot of, a lot. I'm gonna keep talking about that in a minute. But let's go ahead and look at the size tag. Size tag reads Air Jordan 5 Retro SP, Sail, Washed Yellow, Violet Star. As you can see, the box does have this plastic sleeve over the top of it. And when you pull it out, you'll see that all of the colors are actually on the sleeve. And then you just have a kind of faded color of the Jumpman here on the top of the box. Now, the features of the box itself, again, are of the usual Jordan 5 flavor, except it does have these, tinted gradient color on the box. Now, overall, the box, all 4 shoes, the colors are done up in a Miami style flavor. A lot of orange, a lot of purples, signifying sunsets, sunrises, the flavor, the era of the 1980s, 1990s, the era, a lot of stuff was going on. So this is very Miami Vice-ish when it comes to these particular shoes. Again, opening up the top, you have that gradient, the pink to orange. It looks like a nice sunset over the Atlantic Ocean. Again, very Miami Vice, a lot of Miami style flavors right down there in the 305. So the first of 4 colorways in this pack to touch down. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the Air Jordan 5 We The Best DJ Khaled and the Sail colorway. So again, this is the Sail colorway of the 4-pack of the DJ Khaled We The Best series. This particular color, again, is a washed yellow Sail colorway. I'll talk about the shoe, then I'll go ahead and talk about the release and everything else surrounding the shoe. You have mostly a standard Air Jordan 5 upper. The leather on this is pretty nice, pretty supple, fairly soft. I'm not gonna call it premium, but it has a lot of premium feeling to it compared to the other Jordan 5s that we received in the past. The sole has an icy blue translucent outsole with the We The Best logo right there in the, forefoot. Here you have that purple or lilac Nike logo stamped into the arch of the foot. And again, the clear translucent here on the back. Flipping up to the midsole, for those of you who are unaware, this shoe had a lot of influence from fighting planes. I think the Mustang P-51 from World War II era, if I'm not mistaken. That's where these little shark teeth come from. And typically they'll be red or have some kind of splatter in them. And this one does have splatter in it. It just has that, pale yellow or the washed yellow splatter inside this blue turquoise hits with, again, that purple or lilac, overlay on it. Rounding out the back of the midsole is a solid black colorway. On the front of the toe cap, you have this translucent, but creamy or milky or kind of orangish, a little sherbet-ish, again, fitting in with the theme of the shoe, toe cap. And on the rest of the upper, you have that nice Sail colorway. So true to Jordan 5 form, you have your netting on both the lateral and medial sides of the shoe, white or Sail colored translucent netting, as well as the same color within the eye stays. You also have your lace lock here that is translucent and kind of see-through, with that pale yellow and Sail-ish, look to them. As per usual, I went ahead and cut the flash on, and you can see that 3M reflective tongue, which is, again, indicative of most Jordan 5s to come out. If I'm not mistaken, there actually may be some 3M reflective material on the lateral side as the shoe as well, and maybe even here on the medial side. I'm gonna go put this on the camera. You guys can see, better than I can, reflective or no. Now, those are all things that are pretty standard on your typical Air Jordan 5, but here are some of the differences that are made specifically with this release. Using the Fire Red Jordan 5 from 2020, you can see that there is this padding, this ankle bolstering on the outside of the shoe. On the DJ Khaled release, this has been trimmed down and shaved, which a lot of people who aren't particularly fans of the Jordan 5 may actually enjoy. One of the knocks against the Jordan 5 is how incredibly bulky it looks compared to the other silhouettes. I mean, we went from the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4, which are low-cut, sleek shoes, to this high or mid-cut shoe with this padding on it. Now, again, that's jarring to some people and puts Jordan 5 kind of low on some people's priority list. So having these bolsters shaved down may actually be, fairly likable to a lot of different people. Now, hopefully the camera will pick this up, but in addition to that, the tongues on the standard Air Jordan 5 are fairly thick. There's a lot of padding that is behind the tongue, and that again creates that big bloated look that certain people just don't like about the Air Jordan 5. And by contrast, this does have a quilted sock liner, as well as the back of the tongue is quilted and much thinner. It has a lot less padding. Again, hopefully the camera's picking this up. There's a lot less padding on the back of that tongue, making the entire thing a lot sleeker and a lot more streamlined. I rather thoroughly enjoy the padding on shoes like this, as well as the Alma Meniere 4 and amongst others. I think that the padding or the quilted liner makes it actually look very luxurious and very nice. I'm definitely a fan, and I'm glad that DJ Khaled and the design team decided to follow through with that design cue here. Not quite sure if the camera's gonna pick this up, but there is a nice wash yellow insole with a Nike Air pattern on the inside. Now, just like any normal Jordan 5, there is a tag on the back, and most Jordan 5s just say Air Jordan on the back of it, but not this particular one. DJ Khaled had to put his touch on this, had to put his flavor all over this, and we get keep and going. You get keep going. Keep going, which is one of the 10,000 catchphrases that you have absolutely had to have heard DJ Khaled utter numerous amounts of times, more than I care to count and more than I care to recall at this particular time. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, as for the back of the heel, we have the coveted Nike Air on one side. You have Nike Air on the back, which is typically only reserved, again, for OG colorways, and in this particular case, a collab. Now, there are some folks who think that the Nike Air is overused, and there are some who think that it's not used enough. So pick your poison. I think it just goes here on this collab. I think it actually is nice, and I love the Nike Air on the back. And of course, on the back, you're gonna have the "We the Best" catchphrase, which is another slogan that you're gonna hear so many more times for the rest of your life. And of course, that "We the Best" is also on the insole of this shoe. Before I forget, obviously you guys have already seen the sail lace that comes loaded into the shoe, but you also have a purple/lilac, a wash yellow, and a black. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some on foot and some lace swaps, but just know I hate lacing up anything after the Air Jordan 4. But I'm gonna do it for you guys because, hey, it's all love. So I guess as far as the shoe is concerned, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have a deep dive with this big introspective look into how and why this particular colorway was made and the other the other three colorways were made. I mean, like I said, DJ Khaled is a native of Miami right now. I don't think he's from there. I don't know a lot about DJ Khaled other than what I do know about DJ Khaled. And that a lot of the shoes, like him, are over the top and loud for not necessarily any particular reason. But nonetheless, the man has made his home about 3 hours south of here in beautiful Miami, in Dade County, in the 305, and the bright lights, the neon is very much Cuba in the 1960s. A lot of that has splashed onto his design cues and design choices for these shoes. And so this one of all four of the colorways is probably the most subdued and I think the most wearable. One of the things I was most worried about is how to actually wear the Crimson Bliss colorway that is on the way. This one seems a little bit easier to wear, but listen, I'm not the fashion aficionado. You know, I do my best to give you guys on foot and give you guys some hot style videos every now and then. And to be honest, I like to try off the beaten path shoes. And this one's gonna be a struggle, but let's struggle together at least. What I do like about all four shoes is the continuity. Now, love him or hate him, DJ Khaled has made a name for himself and managed to stay relevant for the better part of a decade. Now, I don't know how much DJing he actually does. He's actually closer to an executive producer, if you ask me. He does have an ear for talent. He has an ear for the music, and he knows how to put artists together to make some bangers. I mean, there's more than one time in your life, if you're watching this video, you've moved and shake your head to some of DJ Khaled's music. And then there's the other part, which is just DJ Khaled himself. I mean, you can't separate the man from the music in this particular case because where the music goes, DJ Khaled's gonna follow. You're gonna hear "We the Best." You're gonna hear "Still in the Meeting." You're gonna hear "Keep Going." You're gonna hear "God Did" ad nauseum probably the next 5 years. And whether or not this shoe was a hit or a miss, that's totally up to you to decide. It's kind of irrelevant in the grand scheme of things because the sneakers, you have collectors and you have people who are straight for the toe. I'm not concerned about how shoes are particularly received when it comes to you purchasing them or not. But with that being said, I can at least say the Crimson Bliss pair did not maybe sell as well Jordan Brand and DJ Khaled would have hoped. The shoe released on Sneakers app on November 28th, which was yesterday as of this recording. And to this very moment, there's still sizes available on the Sneakers app, which is really telling considering a collab, especially with a person as popular as DJ Khaled, you would think would have sold instantly. And it's not just because it's the Jordan 5, because we know that the Off-White 5 absolutely flew. But that has not been the case with the Crimson Bliss. But now as far as the release of this sale shoe, this one was actually reserved to Tier 0 stores and boutiques. And so for this particular one, I actually got this from the trophy room. So shout out to Kari, Sneaker Fetish. He actually called me the trophy room plug, and you know, he may be right about that. But I was able to pick this up directly from the trophy room store. No problems, no muss, no fuss. And again, Tier 0 stores and boutiques, they're the ones who got this shoe. So if you follow certain accounts on Twitter, you will know that this shoe is slowly popping up at boutiques around the world, really. And if you want these bad enough, you can get your hands on them. One particularly funny thing is just like the Alma Men Year 4s, there are no size 14s in these shoes. I cannot for the life of me figure out why that is. But if anyone has any ideas, let me know down in the comments below. So just as a recap, I do have the Crimson Bliss pair coming. That review will probably be much shorter because I'll slowly be talking about just the shoe as opposed to DJ Khaled and the rest. And again, there are two other pairs that I believe maybe dropped yesterday, but they have probably went directly to friends and family and celebrities and the like. There was a rumored 4-pack that came out that I believe the homie Fat Joe was showing, and it had all 4 pairs as a collective in one place, and that was actually pretty nice. I would have thought that even on the sneakers app, that would have been a very rare drop, maybe a $1,000 drop that people had to cash that can plunk down and get that shoe, but it wasn't to be the case, and who's to know if it would sit just like the Crimson Bliss sitting right now. So with all that being said, I feel like the sale colorway of the 2 that I do have is going to be the superior colorway, but that'll be determined once I get the Crimson Bliss pair in hand. That's just for ease of use and wearability, but again, that is subject to change upon arrival of the other pair. So all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys some on feet. I'm going to go outside, swap the laces, do all that good stuff. If you guys want, I think these shoes are still available depending on when you see this review. Stay tuned to your sneaker Twitter apps. They'll tell you when these shoes become available at the Tier 0 boutiques. And if you want those Crimson Bliss, I mean, there's still probably plenty of them out there. At the end of the day, I hope this review was informative. I hope the on foot is informative, and I'm just trying to bring you guys the best content as I possibly can. With all that being said, I have been Jay Shoe Fanatic. Quick little look at the Air Jordan 5, We the Best, DJ Khaled, sale colorway. God did. No, that's terrible. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Gotta smell it. Oh, the original cut. There it absolutely is. I might like it better than the 2020 version. And I had to have it.